to go back to tap, the first charm or the good luck in first, because ordinarily they should have headed to Rabat from Marrakesh. But then, who am I to dictate, the Super Eagles movement and all of that? But we all know that the Super Eagles, they've been very, very impressive. Not even impressive, they've been super impressive. They've been tagged the tournament favorite. Many have also said maybe the Super Eagles team is a tournament team, because we're just coming out of the World Cup qualifiers where they did not impress. And all of a sudden, the same set of guys, the same set of players are doing fantastically well. Super Eagles is the only side that has got squad depth, a side that can replace any player like for like. Talk about the attack, talk about the midfield, talk about the defense, and even the goalkeeping area. Remember when we played Uganda, it was not Stanley Wabale Good, it was Francis Uzowo, and the young man did not disappoint. Maybe he was not really tested, but then he considered a goal any goalkeeper in the world could have considered. So it's been good for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Maybe the tactics of the coach, Eric Chell, is to avoid distraction and all that. That explains why the media was shut out, from the Super Eagles training. Well, I'm not going to castigate the coach for that. This has been working for him. Remember when the tournament started, they said that. I remember at the post-match conference and even pre-match conference we had, journalists threw the questions at him. Why was he making faulty substitution? And the coach said his substitutions were based on the reading of each game. And I think to an extent now it's been justified. He has led the team to the semi-final of this AFCON tournament. And remember, before the tournament started, that was the target. This coach has met, the target less than a year on the job. I think whatever tactics he has adopted, whatever tactics he's approaching with has been helpful for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
All right, Femi, quickly. I also understand that the Sky Sports is reporting this morning, and according to them, they are saying that the Moroccan national team's technical staff, led by Coach Walid Regragou, is in a state of high alert at the private complex in Saleh. And what they're doing right now is they're monitoring the Nigerian team. They have a technical team on ground watching every of the tape. Should we be scared with what the Moroccans are doing? They're analyzing every single player of the Nigerian national team, everybody.
Okay, so what the Moroccan team, the technical team, is doing is to deploy a high-tech video of the Super Eagles from the beginning of the tournament, where they played Tanzania, against Tunisia, against Uganda, and even against Algeria. I think they are trying to analyze, the Super Eagles' approach to I'm sorry to say this, the Black Africans, in person of the Tanzania and the Uganda, and how they approach the game against the Tunisians, and the Algerians. So they are trying to analyze everything. We all know that Iwobi, who has been a contributor to almost all the goals scored by the Super Eagles, happens to be the X factor in the team. Everybody knows that the engine room of a good team is the midfield, and Iwobi is playing that role fantastically well. So Iwobi is the number one on the list.
And that brings the question.
How does it?
Femi, sorry to cut you. You talked about Iwobi. So if you have a highly intelligent set of people monitoring these guys, you talked about Iwobi. We saw that in Cote d'Ivoire. We were together in Cote d'Ivoire, and we saw that, which almost cost us, the game against the South Africans. I think that was in the semi-finals, where Iwobi was caged. So if the Moroccans decide to cage Iwobi, what other options do we have here?
Okay, so Joseph, we will be going for the press conference, pre-match conference this morning. And I will try to post this particular question to the coach, because the Moroccans are not just sitting back, relaxed, and what just watch events unfold. What they are trying to do is to analyze the thing, and the number one target is Iwobi. Like you mentioned, if Iwobi is caged, what is going to happen? We all know that Wilfred Ididi is not going to play tomorrow. Then we have a Raphael Oyedika, who can come in. Can Oyedika be the guy masquerading as Iwobi against Morocco? Because obviously, Iwobi is going to be marked, is going to be outmarked. Who is now going to be the guy masquerading as, the creative midfielder in the middle of the park? So that is the question we are going to be posting, to our coach today, because he has to unravel that mystery, as the case may be. Otherwise, we may be heading to play the complex match.
And I agree with you. I just hope you get the opportunity to ask him that questions, because I did a study to study the Nigerian national team. We've got into the semi-final 16 times, and we've won the Nations Cup 3 times. What does it say? It means that you were one step away from the final 16 times, and you won the Nations Cup only 3 times, coming second 9 times, which is a disaster. And one thing they've always do is to monitor us. In 2019, in Egypt, if you remember, the semi-finals against Algeria, they did their job. They caged the guys at the midfield. I talked about Cote d'Ivoire. God saved us against South Africa. In Cameroon, the same thing. We're the best team in the group stage, but going into the round of 16, the Tunisians, studied us and got that victory. 1-0 it ended. This time around, this is a crucial stage. I hope that the technical team of the Nigerian national team are sensible enough to understand these things.
Eric Chell is a wonderful coach. He's a coach who reads game. He doesn't rely on past events on all that. He reads game as they come. And he has told us, I remember him telling us that he likes to approach every game as they come. Now, it's obvious that the Moroccans are studying every of our players, everybody in that team. So what he should be doing, if I were in, is I would try to look at my bench and bring on guys that the Moroccans would not be studying, the guys that could be a super sub or an X factor. But because obviously players like Victor Osimhen will be marked, will be outmarked. Players like Akko Adams, they know what they can do. Ademola Lookman, they would have studied it. Then what do you do? If I were him, I would just introduce the likes of Raphael Oyedika. Thank goodness Wilfred Ndidi is suspended and will not be played. So Raphael Oyedika should be the guy, that should ordinarily make the difference if the regular guys are being caged, like you mentioned, or outmarked.
All right. Femi, I know you guys will be going for the presser very soon. But before you go, let's still spend a lot of time with you, like 10 minutes here. Let's talk about the other game, because for the first time, 7, not Ballon d'Or now, the African Player of the Year, the award, what they call it, the CAF Awards, is being shared by 7 players in the semi-final. In the history of the African Cup of Nations, we've never had that, which also means that if we scale through Morocco, God give us the day, there's also a Senegal and Egypt. You've seen these guys play. You've been monitoring them. How worried should we be rather when we even leave this stage? Because I believe the Nigerian national team will defeat the Moroccans. I believe personally, being patriotic here. Let's also talk about the Egyptians and the Senegalese national team here.
Patriotism is about stating facts, figures. The Super Eagles and it's the only side to have scored 14 goals. They even broke the Nigerian record, because the previous record was 12 in 2000. We've scored 14 goals, and we have a semi-final and the final, or God forbid the third place to play. And so what that means is that this particular side is the favourite to nick it. We will be playing against the Moroccan side, and they will be having the 12th player, supporting them, and that is the supporters. It's going to be, you need to see what transpired, in their towns, in their cities, when they defeated Ivory Coast the last time. It was like a party. It was like a party. We could hardly move on the streets of Rabat. So
Femi, thank you for bringing up that, because I posted something on my status yesterday, and this is confirmation coming from some of our friends, of course, like you, that are currently in Morocco as we speak. And they said the Moroccans are already buying all the tickets. We saw that in Cote d'Ivoire. We're together, Femi, at the finals where, if not as journalists, we would have entered that stadium. And I'm sure this is what the Moroccans will want to do. How much of an intimidation would that be for the Nigerian national team?
Let me go down memory lane. I remember how we were almost not making it to the stadium in Ivory Coast because of so many factors. But then the truth is, the Super Eagles, not just the Super Eagles, even the Nigerians here, not just the Nigerians, even the fans will be intimidated, will face all kinds of pressure, intimidation and all that, but that is expected. We are Nigerians, we are used to it. We can survive anything, and we are going to survive this. The truth is, we have a team that is rearing to go. We have a team that is unique. We have a team that is excellent, in every department. For the very first time in a long while, this team is being compared to the 1994 set. It's looking like nothing will stop them. I've taken a look at the remaining teams in this competition. Only Egypt has what it takes to probably give the Super Eagles a run for their money. But then the Moroccans, I've taken my time to study them from day one to this time. They are no threat to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Okay, Joseph, you can take this to the bank. Nigeria will defeat Morocco. And I also have a feeling, a very strong feeling, that Egypt will defeat Senegal. So from the look of things, from my own perspective, I'm predicting now Nigeria-Egypt final. Well, you have to predict Nigeria to win. I mean, well, it's not that you don't want to, but let's not go there. You have to predict that they will win. I know you want to stay longer. I've seen your videos and your pictures with the fishes, the yellow fishes that you have. Just be careful. It's an Islamic country. So you don't stay behind bars for a very long time. But before I let you go here quickly, just before I let you go, let's talk about the Nigerian side once again. We'll do this in 3 minutes quickly. A lot of Nigerians, have argued that why we're seeing the Nigerian national team play good football, one, because of the weather, and secondly, Nigeria is playing on some of the finest pitches in the world. Okay. Well, I want to strongly disagree that we are playing good football because we are playing on the finest pitches in the world. We played the World Cup. The African playoffs here, World Cup qualifiers, the African playoffs here in Morocco, and we saw what happened against Gabon. Were it not for extra time, we would have drawn that game. And against the Congo DR, we saw what transpired. And so it's not as if we are doing well because we are playing on a good pitch. What we are seeing is the boys who have sat down, held a meeting, and they were like, oh, we disappointed these guys, in time past. This is a time to right our wrongs. And then we've always had the quality. We've always had the squad depth. If you look at it, of all the countries in Africa, Nigeria is the only country that has quality, that has players that can replace, each other like for like. But then, what is the problem? Why haven't we been able to gel? Why haven't we been able to play as a unit? And I think these were the problems Coach Eric Chen addressed, prior to this tournament, and the result is now evident in what we are seeing on the pitch. Ordinarily, we should be the best ranked team in Africa. We have the quality. Look at our attack. Look at our midfield. Look at our defense. The only issues we have here is the goalkeeping department, but the guys are not disappointing so far. So nothing is stopping us from doing well. It's just that lack of determination, lack of focus, and not being serious was our undoing in time past. And I think a psychologist is really talking to these guys, and they are beginning to see reasons to play well, to play as a unit, to play as a team. And the result is evident in what we are seeing at this point in time.
All right, Femi, I have to let you go here. We have other stories to catch up with. I must say thank you, but we know you're going for the presser, and tomorrow morning we'll connect with you again, to analyze in detail whatever the coach will be saying, and hopefully you pass the message to the coach in that one. And just before I leave, I've seen your videos. Morocco is freezing cold. Never believed there's an African country where snow will be falling like you were in Scotland.
well, you know, Morocco is very close to Europe. There is a land border between.
That's what I want to say. No, don't run away because don't.
Let me bust your bubbles. 4 Nigerians, approached me like 2 days ago, and then they asked me, please, how can we, cross to Spain? I told them, don't try it. The roadblock is like from Lagos to Ibadan.
Are you indirectly telling me you booked a boat to run?
You don't even need a boat. There's a land border. All you need is just to cross. But then the policemen, the security guys there.
Come back to Lagos. Femi, I must thank you for your time on the show this morning.
Duly noted. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you once again. All right, that was Femi Fabum, who joined us live from Rabat. He is a journalist based in Lagos, but currently